All right, we're going to check out one more thing from LoDinpo. So, if you've watched any of my videos on this LoDinpo stuff, which is just one of those markets that, you know, Amazon makes up where, you know, you got a bunch of this Chinese stuff thrown in there. But I saw this one here, and it is a survival fishing kit with a much larger tin than normal. It has a cheap rubber band around it, holds together. We'll probably replace that with a regular Ranger band. But we're looking at this because this has an item that I think is going to go perfectly with the rest of our LoDinpo stuff to make that kit so much more efficient, shall we say. Alright, so let's get into this right now. Again, you have this much larger tin. You've got survival fishing kits, how to use them, so you get like a little bit more literature in there. We're gonna get another chunk of fishing line, which is great because, you know, fishing line, you need that. All right. Now then we have here, we have 2, 4, 6. We have a 7-pack of Waihai Chenyang Yu made in China. Right? They're basically jig heads. They got soft plastics on them. We also are gonna get a few sinkers and some clamps or some swivel type things. Gonna get an additional bobber. Gonna get another one of these ridiculous razor blade knives. This one is not very well built at all. This is Yin Guang brand. And finally, and this is the thing that I saw, this one that I figured I wanted to pick up. You have a way to reel in your line, and they give you a telescoping handle as well. So you can, it doesn't go down to the bottom there, but you can tighten this sucker up on here on the second strung. Maybe not. Maybe it does have to go down on the bottom one. Open it up just a little bit more. Yeah. So it goes onto the bottom rung there. Then you tighten it down a little bit. Now, it's not going to give you a whole lot, but you'll be able to reel your line in. So it's going to make the hobo reel aspect a lot easier. Now, casting it, you know, you're just going to have to you can tighten it, you can loosen it with this. Right, but you do have a retractable reel. It may not be the best built reel, but you have something that you can use to reel your line in. And so you have somewhere to put it. But the fact that it comes with this nice telescoping pull. Now you might want to extend this out somehow, maybe make like a wooden handle or something that slides over the end of it. I may do that, but still, having this telescoping rod with a tiny reel there really makes it for a lot more efficient than just kind of trying to do the hand reel aspect of it. This right here, we definitely don't need that. We can always use an additional bobber. Got some stuff here, but on top of all of this, also from Amazon, I picked up some additional stuff here. I did get some 8-pound braided fishing line. Gonna be using that in a couple of the projects I'm working on right now. But here I got a 200-piece split shot sinkers and a 300-piece fish hooks of, there's 10 different sizes 3 through 12 fish hooks. So, because I find that in most of these fishing kits, what is most lacking is either weights or hooks in any fishing kit you buy. So, what the nice thing is those things are cheap and inexpensive to add to it. So, as we're piecing this together, we're getting like additional items that are definitely going to be useful. You can always use more sinkers, soft baits. They're going to get lost. They're going to get snagged. The line is going to break and get. Let's take that sucker out of this stupid bag here. I think this is 8.6, 3.5, 8.6, 50 meters. But it's monofilament. It's a red monofilament. So that means that it's going to like hold the shape of where it's wound on. Whereas with this braided, it doesn't really hold the shape. So it gives you a little bit more room to. And again here, this gives you a couple knots on it. Pretty useful. I mean, if until you know how to you tie those knots, like, without even thinking about it, that's pretty useful stuff to have. But we're going to use this kit, this additional stuff, and we're going to come up with a final configuration for our LoDinpo loadout. And that video is going to be coming up here in, I don't know, a week or two, because we're going to go through all this. I'm going to replace some stuff, add some stuff. I'm trying to stick it with it as much from LoDinpo as possible. Obviously, the cup, not LoDinpo. But almost everything that's inside the survival kit is going to be the stuff that we got from LoDinpo. And we're going to see what we can do to make this a survival kit you can throw on your hip, put it in the back of a car. You break down, you have to hike, you have to, evacuate in any way, shape, or form. You have a quick bag. You can just snap it around your waist and you can head on out. So, but yeah, I thought that this, it says emergency survival gear, compact and portable, wide applicability. But I thought that this one, really nice. Not only that, but for the tin itself, because this is a much larger tin. Now I don't know how waterproof this will be. Probably not very, but it's possible this will hold water. We'll put that to the test as well, because this gives you a little bit more water that you can put on there so you can start boiling it. But at the very least, you might be able to cook in this nonetheless. This might make a good cooking tin. You put a little bit of oil in there, throw your fish in there after you've caught it. But I thought that this was a unique system, and it can really help when you're out there fishing. So you have that you have a telescoping reel or telescoping rod, and all this other cool stuff that comes along with it. So that is it. I think it was like 17 or something like that. It's kind of expensive, but if it works, it's worth it. These each, I think this one was like 4 something, and this was like 5 something, or vice versa. But really inexpensive to get a lot of hooks, a lot of sinkers, which, and that terminal tackle is really important. So but we're gonna take all this, we're gonna put some stuff together. We're gonna use some of it. We're gonna add some additional sinkers. We might add some additional hooks. I know we already have quite a bit in there, but that's one of those items that if you do have to fish for food to survive, you don't want to cheap out on having enough terminal tackle, because while you can hooks, you can find stuff in nature to make hooks with. Barbed, plants, maybe barrel cactus. They have like the hooked. They have the hooks on the locusts, but having a good amount of hooks and sinkers really goes a long way, along with line. Although if you have paracord, you can gut the paracord and you can use the inner strands for fishing line as well. So, and we might add a couple items from our Grim Workshop EDC, like, you know, the gig card or something. We might add that to this kit as well. And see what we can do. But so far, I'm liking all the stuff that we've gotten from this imaginary company, LoDinpo. They have like a lot of different fishing kits. The other one that I have not picked up is they do have like a hand caster that has like 5 or 6 clear containers that screw together, so you can store all of your stuff in the handle, and then it's more of just a hobo type reel. But it's still good stuff. There's a lot of options out there. We are going to give this one a try. We're gonna pack all this stuff up. We're gonna take this out, and whether when we take a trip to Rio Doso or whether I find some place out here to cast it out, we're definitely gonna give this one a test and see how well this whole system here works. But that's it for the last item that we'll be getting from LoDinpo. I might get that other hand casting reel, but if I do, it's not going to be part of this. It's just, you know, just to try it out. But I think that as far as building a survival kit using this stuff, we've gotten a couple fishing kits, we've gotten a fire kit, and we have this survival kit that we got. So it's like 3, 1, 2, 3. It's like 4 items from LoDinpo that we're adding together, and then some additional really cheap off of Amazon equipment. So, but we'll see how this works out. I'm hoping it works out pretty good. I like this concept. Hopefully it doesn't break on the first fish. That would be rather embarrassing. But I mean, not for me, but for this kit. But if we can reel in some small fish with this, you know, some panfish, maybe, you know, a small trout or gar or something, you know, something that doesn't give too much of a fight and snap that telescoping rod. Maybe, you know, this might be something that you might want to consider adding to your survival kit, so that you do have a way to just, you know, reel the fish in, as opposed to trying to use it with your hand, you know, and use a hand reel. I mean, hand reels are great; they're easy to improvise, but you know, use an aluminum can. You can use just a stick, and you can make a hand reel, you know, and then you just twist it, and the line comes in. But to have a small, lightweight crank system, it's going to make it a lot easier to reel your fish in. So, but we'll give it a try. I have high hopes for this overall setup. I don't have too high hopes for this because it is built kind of cheaply, but I'm hoping that it does work. But anyway, until next time, hey everybody, keep prepping. If you haven't already, please hit that like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and come back here. We're gonna get this implemented into this, and we're gonna see what we got at the end of everything. All right, until next time, keep prepping.